Hello everyone, welcome to GS Core. Today we'll be discussing about current affairs through MCQs, and the topic of discussion is environment and ecology. Before we start, you can check out this All India PT mock test. Second test will be held on 30th of April and third mock test will be on 10th of May. Let us start with the questions. First question. Consider the following statements regarding lifestyle for environment, that is life initiative. First statement. It is based on sustainable consumption and production encapsulated in Goal 12 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Right. So this statement regarding life mission or life initiative is correct because life initiative is in sync with Goal 12 of SDG. What Goal 12 talks about? It talks about sustainable consumption and production patterns. Right. So it is a kind of behavioral change in the lifestyle of people so that their lifestyle become more sustainable towards the environment. First statement is correct. Second, it aims to create a global army of pro-planet people who will be committed to adopting and promoting environment-friendly lifestyle. Right. So this statement is also a correct statement because this program, Life Initiative, focuses on pro-planet people, army of pro-planet people who have carried out behavioral changes, and as a result of that, their lifestyle is environment friendly lifestyle. Second statement is also correct statement. So we are supposed to find out correct statements regarding life initiative. Both statements are correct, and that's why answer is C, both 1 and 2. Next question now. Which of the following is not the correct example of biochemical weapons? Right. So which of the following is not a correct example of biochemical weapons? So anthrax is a disease. It is a bacterial disease. Then botulinum toxin is a toxin produced by Clostridium botulinum. Right, Clostridium botulinum produces this particular toxin. And plague, again, it is a bacterial disease. Plague is also a bacterial disease. Fine. So all these three are related to bacterial diseases or bacterial toxins. Radioactive waste, on the other hand, is nuclear. It is nuclear in origin, and that's why it cannot be used as biochemical weapon. And that's why answer is D. Answer of this question is D, because radioactive waste cannot be used as a kind of biochemical weapon. Fine. Answer is D. Next question now. The Mishti scheme recently seen in news is related to, so it is related to conservation of mangrove forest. Answer of this question is A. Mishti scheme, that is, Mishti stands for Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline. It stands for Mangrove Initiative for shoreline habitats, and tangible incomes. So that is a full form of Mishti scheme, and Mishti scheme was launched as a part of budget 2023-24. It was launched as a part of budget of 2023-24. Fine. So answer of this question is A. So here focus is on improvement, or focus is on mangrove plantation along the coastline, and also on salt pans on land, where through efforts of, or through the convergence of Manrega and Campa funds, we will be able to ensure that mangrove forest is restored or it is enhanced. Fine. So answer of this question is A. Now next question. Next question is, the Fit for 55 initiative was launched in which of the following countries or in which of the following groups? So it was launched in European Union, right? So Fit for 55 is the European Union plan to reduce. Fit for 55 is plan to reduce GHG emissions, GHG emissions by 55% by 2030. By 2030, greenhouse gas emissions should reduce by 55%. And it is a part of Fit for 55 campaign or initiative is a part of European Green Deal. European Green Deal, where focus is to become net zero or to achieve climate neutrality by 2050. Right? In order to achieve climate neutrality by 2050, one of the stepping stone is Fit for 55, where focus is on reduction of greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030. Right? So answer of this question is D. Next question now. Consider the following statements regarding Panchamrit presented by India at COP26. Right, so Panchamrit is updated NDCs, nationally determined contributions of India. Right, let us consider the statements first. India will reduce the total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now onwards till 2030. So this is one of the commitments that India has given under Panchamrit. First is correct. Second, by 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45%. Right. So this is also a correct statement of Panchamrit. Right. This is also a goal that India has set for Panchamrit or under Panchamrit. Right. Both these statements are correct statements, and that's why answer of this question is C, both 1 and 2. Right. What are other three commitments under Panchamrit? First is that by 2030, 500 gigawatts of energy, will be achieved from non-fossil sources. Right, so that is one of the commitments. Then next is by 2030, 50% of energy requirements, will be met from renewable energy. Right, and lastly, to achieve net zero by 2070. Right, so these are other commitments that India has given under its Panchamrit mission. Right, next question now. Next is, with reference to the role of UN Habitat in the United Nations program working towards a better urban future, which of the statements are correct? Right, so the question is regarding United Nations, UN Habitat, United Nations Organization, UN Habitat. First statement, UN Habitat has been mandated by the United Nations General Assembly to promote socially and environmentally sustainable towns and cities to provide adequate shelter for all. Right, so this is the mandate of United Nations Habitat Organization, UN Habitat Organization. Right, so first statement is a correct statement. Second, its partners are either governments or local urban authorities only. Now this statement is an incorrect statement. Why? Because UN Habitat not only partners with governments and local urban authorities, along with that, it also partners with NGOs, then trade unions, trade unions, then academics, right? Then researchers, even private sector, and financial institutions. So all these are the partners of UN Habitat, not only government and local authorities, and that's why the second statement is an incorrect statement. Third statement, UN Habitat contributes to the overall objective of United Nations system to reduce poverty and to promote access to safe drinking water and basic sanitation. Right, so this is a correct statement regarding UN Habitat. It contributes to the objective of the United Nations, wherein its focus is on to reduce poverty, to make sure that there is access to safe drinking water, and improve the conditions of sanitation. Right, so first and third statements are correct, and that's why answer of this question is B. 1 and 3 only. Question number 6, answer is B. Next is, what is Rio Plus 20 conference often mentioned in the news? Right, so Rio Plus 20 conference is the conference which was held in 2012 to mark 20 years of, 20 years of Earth Summit. To mark 20 years of Earth Summit. Right, and Rio Plus 20 conference was also held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and its formal name is United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. Answer of this question is A. Right, its formal name is United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. Fine, so answer of this question is A. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding Niti Aayog's first State Energy and Climate Index. State Energy and Climate Index. First statement, Goa is the best performing state in the index. Right, so this statement is a correct statement. Goa along with Gujarat. Goa and Gujarat. These are best performing states. Right, Goa and Gujarat. Next second, the national average in the index was calculated based on energy efficiency and climate resilience. So in order to calculate this particular index, Niti Aayog has taken into account energy efficiency of that particular state and also their climate resilience. Right, so second statement is also a correct statement. These are the two important criteria that were taken into account by Niti Aayog for State Energy and Climate Index. Both these statements are correct statements, and that's why answer of this question is C, both 1 and 2. Question number 7, question number 8, answer is C. Next ninth question. Consider the following statements. First, the Basel Convention on the Control of Transboundary Movement of Hazardous Wastes and their disposal does not include plastic waste in the prior informed consent procedure. Fine, so this statement is an incorrect statement. Right, this statement is an incorrect statement because now under Basel Convention on the control of transboundary movement of hazardous waste and their disposal, the parties have included plastic waste in the prior informed consent procedure. Right, so plastic waste now is a part of prior informed consent procedure, and that's why first statement is an incorrect statement in this particular question. Second statement, the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, or MARPOL Convention, imposes a complete ban on disposal of all forms of plastic garbage from ships into the sea. Right, so this is a correct explanation, correct statement regarding Marpol Convention, which imposes complete ban on the disposal of plastic garbage from ships into the sea. Right, so first statement is incorrect, second is correct. We are supposed to find out incorrect statements, and that's why answer of this question is A, one only. Next now, with reference to carbon border adjustment tax CBAT, consider the following statements. First, it is a tax on carbon emissions imposed on imported goods from countries with less strict climate policies. Right, so this statement is a correct statement regarding carbon border adjustment tax. So this is the initiative of European Union, wherein they will be taxing those imported goods which are imported from countries which do not have strict emission reduction strategies, right? And that's why they'll be imposing tax on those goods which are being imported from such countries, and that tax will be called as carbon border adjustment tax. First statement is correct. Second, it was proposed by BASIC, that is Brazil, South Africa, India and China nations. So incorrect statement, it is by European Union. European Union. Fine, so only first statement is correct, and that's why answer of this question is A, one only. Right, so answer of this question is A. So that is about this particular session. Thank you.